Shut up! I'm Video Game Rory. Nice to meet me. And I'm here to tell you all about how video games made me violent. I used to be the sweetest little boy you ever seen until I played my first video game.
Oh, if I could just get one more pair, then this raccoon will finally be my friend.
Now everything they're saying is true. Video games will make you violent. They'll get in your head and they'll mess you up. When I was a kid, I used to love things like picking flowers, baking cakes, gardening. You know what I like now? Violence.
I wonder how many people we can stack on top of each other.
Now everyone knows that games have no content.
What is better, to be born good or to overcome your evil nature through great effort?
Games have no educational value whatsoever.
I need to keep a close eye on the economy for the anchor weeds, as they're my primary source of income. Their price is inflated because they're scarce and difficult to obtain. But if this ever changes, I need to have a backup plan for how I will make my money.
Games can't make you feel anything.
I've waited so long to do that.
It was my job to take care of you.
We were supposed to take care of each other. And we did.
Games are ruining our youth.
Father.
No. We do it together. Son.
You know, people always ask me, Video Game Rory, what's your favorite gun? And I always say the same thing. Salt gun. It's got a little receptacle here to put salt into. Someone takes your character in a ranked game, salt. RNG's not in your favor, salt. You get a laggy server, salt.
You know them, you know, Call of Duty. I don't do any of these, but
what Grand Theft Auto?
yeah, they're simulated violence.
It's a criminal simulator, a murder simulator.
Yeah.
69 dead on an island in Norway, and he spent a year training on video games to prepare himself for his crime.
We don't need anyone to tell us what to do. We are free to follow our own path. There are those who will take that freedom from us. Too many of you gladly give it. But it is our ability to choose whatever you think is true that makes us human.
In all seriousness, folks, games have been the biggest part of my life. All the best things that I can think of in my life come from sharing video games with other people. I grew up playing games since I was a toddler. I started playing the very early games when I was 3 or 4 years old. I don't even know what I was looking at. But ever since then, I've had this passion for games. And the relationships that I've formed, the friendships that I've formed, the experiences that I've had, all because of games, makes me feel just sickened by the conversation that games are to blame for any of this violence that we're seeing in the United States. It's ridiculous. Gaming is a global experience. It's not just in the United States. So it's silly to think that just because games are being played, that's why there's violence. It's a scapegoat, and honestly, it's just pathetic, and it needs to stop.
Let it go, my son. I'm not here to fight. Or should I call you brother?
What?
It's over. Time for you to put aside the gun and live.
Some of my best friends now, I met online. I met them in middle school, and we only knew each other through Ventrilo or TeamSpeak. We spoke over the computer. I didn't even know what they looked like for a good 3 or 4 years. And when I finally met them, it's like we were old friends. And I still talk to them today, and I still play games with them today. And what brought us together was games. Games are not just a form of entertainment. It's a way to bring people together. It builds communities. It builds friendships. There are millions of people around the world that have friends, relationships, or even met their spouse through a game that they had just been playing together. It's a shared bond through the games that we play. So I think it's just ridiculous that we're pointing the finger at games just because games are so popular and mainstream now. I remember a time in the 90s where it wasn't cool to play games. The majority of my childhood, I was the nerd. I was the dork. I was the kid that wanted to go home and play a game. And to me, that was what fulfilled me. I have grown so much emotionally, physically, mentally, professionally, just because of games, and I've made a career out of it as well. And I'm so glad that now it is very mainstream for a lot of folks to make a career out of games, esports, production, marketing, development, you name it. Games have become a part of our world. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm a very nice person. I don't like to say mean things, but honestly, it's pathetic and moronic that we're pointing the finger at games for being the cause of any gun violence in the world. When a person picks up a weapon and causes harm or murders another person, trying to find a scapegoat in a video game just shows how immature and moronic these people are. Because games enrich the world. They bring people together. Listen to me. Gaming is here to stay, but I sincerely hope that these gun crimes are not.
Indeed, but you must always remember that the only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing.